Now, we'll continue with the tagging process by selecting the References and Appendices tab. Here we'll find a new assistant that will help us to infer the references that we need. We can either accept it or cancel the help. When we click accept, we have the full reference in the window, and we have to choose the source and type of publication. The Markalic system automatically finds the source and type of publication, so we don't need to mark it, tag it, but if it's the case, we can always correct it. Now we can click on the next reference, and we need to do basically the same. Now in the type of publication, we note that it hasn't inferred a type of publication, so we'll have to select the one that applies to it. In this case, a book or a book chapter. We can click on the next one and select all the options that in this case apply. We can close the assistant anytime we want. We can finish the process, or we can go back to the reference, to the previous reference, to the next reference, or select if it doesn't have a reference. Now, when we have a specific source, in this case a thesis, we need to select as a source the title of the thesis. In this case, it's the following, and we can go on more. Now, for this case, we need only to finish the tagging process, and we can select, or we can see that it has already inferred all the information, being the name of the authors and the year of said reference. Now we see that it finds also the formatting of the reference that we have. In this case, it's in italics, so we only need to verify that everything is accordingly to our article. The Markalic system sometimes has troubles recognizing institutional authors, so we only need to verify if that's the case. This is not the case, so it has been correctly identified. And as you can see, it already generates the hyperlinks for the URLs that are in this reference. We need only to select it, and we are finishing with it. As we can see in the reference in detail box, it has already detected the type of publication. And now if we want more in-depth tagging of our references, we can add the full name of the article, volume, number, everything that we need on the upper left toolbar. Here we can select the article's title, for example, where we can select it. In this case, it's the following. As you can see, we need only to click and drag, and it will select automatically what we need. We then click again in the reference in detail journal and the mother box, to name it in a way, and then select the volume, in this case 26. Then click again and click on the number 1, and the pages of said article. The first page being number 91, the last page number 100, and the digital identifier of our publication. In this reference, it's a DOI. We have to select the type of identification, in this case a DOI identifier. As you can see, it already selects the beginning of our URL, so we only need to select the numbered part. Now, if we want to improve a type of, in this case a book, we can select the title of the chapter, the publisher, and the authors that are needed. In this case, we have editors, So we can select the type of author, in this case an editor, select the name, last name. To add another one, we only need to click on the author's box, add another author, and fill in the details that we need. Now we can also add the city of the publisher's house, in this case New York, and also the publisher's name. Again, this is an optional requirement. Redlinks only need the name of the authors, the year, and the source of each reference. But if you want to go more in depth of your reference, you can do it. Lastly, about the notes we need to add. The Markolic system can add the notes by clicking on the toolbar in the section Notes. We only need to click it and put the identifier, which is in this case the number 1, and the whole paragraph of said note. We'll click on it, and to add another one, we only need to select the mother box, in this case Notes, add the number of identifier, and then just add the paragraph. Now, when selecting the References and Appendices tab, we can also put the acknowledgements that are made in the article. And as we saw in the previous tutorial, it has an acknowledgement of funding. So we only need to select the whole paragraph about it and end with it. We can always add appendixes, glossaries, and references. Another reference if our journal separates the books from the magazine, from the journals, from the web pages, and so on and so on. So we need to save now our progress, and with it we can continue with the full text of the article.